Good afternoon, everybody. Actually, half of my job was already done when Dr. Shiraj presented on health insurance. So I'll be trying to skip many of the topics or the content which I have put in my presentation, which already has been taken up by him. But the core or the crux of my presentation will be how we can make it affordable. What are the various roadblocks? But before that, I'll be just giving a brief about how exactly is the health insurance scenario present in world and in India. The overall view. We are all aware of the fact that the GDP spend of India is quite low, as Madam had rightfully said that it's very much, if you compare it with US and all, it's on the higher side, but for us it's on the lower side. But if you see the way the hospitals and all are being framed up in India, that is the tertiary care sector that is predominantly being run by the private sector companies, whereas the primary care sector is a mixture of both. So we have a big challenge of having a good collaboration between these two aspects. Another point that is a bother of insurance company is the average amount of the inflation that takes place. Though there is no published report after 2011 where the average inflation was shown as around 20%. So this is the average inflation which we are dealing on day-to-day basis, and that is the main concern for us. Why it is a concern? Because we don't know how it will be going on years to come, and how we will be pricing what policies when we are trying to come up with new products and all. If you see how is the Indian population behaving, the amount, the population is growing, but if you see the age group is also growing. So there is a good amount of people above 65 years of age group which are there who need treatment, and the way the lifestyle diseases are moving as such in the Indian scenario, the diseases which are of chronic nature, which are linked with lifestyles and all, they are increasing. If you see the data of around 2001, it was around 18%, now it has risen to around 24-25%. So this means the treatment which require higher cost are actually increasing more and more in the present Indian population. The funding gap is a major concern. People don't have enough money to pay for the insurance, to pay for the hospital bills. That is the main reason why what government has also identified, and I think that is the reason why so many government schemes as of now is being floated, though they have their own criteria of exclusion inclusion. But yes, it is somewhere bridging the funding gap. It is somewhere assisting the people to pay the money. Otherwise, in the previous or in the past, the experience was like people were forced to sell their lands or jewelry, which still now is being done, but the frequency has come down on that aspect. If I see what is the main driver for health insurance in India, predominantly there is a huge medically underserved population which needs insurance, because they know that the cost of medical bills are rising, and they know that the paying capacity is increasing, because there is a big amount of demographic transition that is taking place in the Indian scenario. The per capita income is increasing, and people are now started to earn at the much younger age group, which was not present in the initial day. And also they know that the lifestyle diseases are increasing, and the people who are more on the dependent age group are having, they are actually prone for treatment, because the average life expectancy is also increasing. So all these are the major growth drivers which actually is promoting health insurance. Health insurance in the previous years was not a dominant force. It was sold along with some other insurance cover like fire, property or marine. But as of now, if you can see now, you are able to see standalone insurance companies also coming into the market, because there is a huge potential of this area, and especially with government coming into the picture, the amount of money that is being funded into this healthcare segment is huge. To just tell you about how exactly health insurance companies fared in the last year, they finished at around 19,000 crores. The pie is around 58% for the PSUs and around 42% for the private companies. But if you want to look at the factor that is called as the affordability, what are the main drivers? See, for affordability, you need to have volumes, because then only the pricing will come down for per unit person. Government has the power to drive volumes, because they can impose the schemes, and I think this is the right forum where we can present our view, so that if something can get implemented at even Maharashtra level or at Pune level or Mumbai level, it will be fantastic, because health per se is a state object. The industry also noticed that there are so many variables that are associated with the health insurance industry and all, and that is why our regulatory body, that is IRDA, that also understood the importance of reinventing the health insurance sector. That is when they introduced the concept of health insurance regulation, which though was imposed, but it actually helped us in cleaning many of the things that were not identified or that was not brought to the notice. There are other type of integrations that are going on at sporadic level, but I think if these people partner with the insurance companies, it will be a lot helpful. Things like standard billing format for an integration with HIS, or even for on the aspect of electronic health record, because for insurance companies also it becomes very important to know the exact disease condition of the person who is about to buy the policy. If it is on a government platform, then since the exposure is to all, then the chances or the frequency will decrease. But in case of a selective insurance like the retail policy and all, since only specific people will be taking, if the insurance is sold to only diseased population, then the principle of insurance per se will not be met, because it is like I am spreading the risk to the pool of people, and then we are giving the money to them at the time of the treatment that is needed. CDEC and all are also working with IID and all, where they are looking at the aspect of collaborating the HIS and the EHR, so that the insurance people get the correct amount of data. The present day challenge is the inflation, which I have already mentioned, and we are also at a mercy of the hospitals in some cases, because there is no regulator as such over the hospitals which can define the laws and all. I'll just elaborate on this aspect in the next slide. Also, there is an increased amount of health insurance fraud that actually is a big deterrent in going for the affordability price, because people who are not expected to claim, they are claiming, and that amount of money is going to fund their wrong claims, which is again resulting into the increase in the treatment cost and all. And what Dr. rightly said about the preventive care services, as of now there is no proper wellness plan or the preventive plan that has been sought about in any type of insurance policies that actually has a negative aspect. So if you see challenges, what we feel from the insurance company point of view towards the hospitals is because of the lack of regulator. There are lot many mispractices that are going on, for which we also don't have a control, because for the patient who is claiming, it is the doctor who is treating him, and he will blindly follow the doctor or what the doctor is saying. So the type of hospitals the doctor is referring to the patient, that is still not it is not defined, and as an insurance company we have not reached to a stage where we can say that you have to go to this set of hospitals only, and if you take treatment to other set of hospitals, it will not be allowed. There is no benchmark or reference for hospital pricing. Like for insurance, if we have to clear any pricing, there is a lot of actual calculation that goes around, and then only the pricing slab is defined. But for hospitals, it is if there is a dollar rupee devaluation and all those things, that is the reason which they quote to raise the price, or it's done on the ad hoc basis. So if it is in that way, then it is very sorry scenario for the insurance industry to tackle this type of challenges. Also, with this advancement of the science, we see lot many treatment modalities which get used, which are generally not warranted for or not asked for. For example, robotic. Yes, if it is a cancer treatment and all those things where you need precise cut, then we believe that it should be used. But just for the sake of using this type of treatment, it should not be utilized or used. But the way the scenario is there in the present scene, people are wanting to use these services. It has become like a fad for the people. Again, published tariff concept. Today, if we have to go and buy something from the market, we do a lot of shopping. We see the MRP tag being shown, highlighted in the shopping malls and all. If today I have to do a shopping on the website also, I see all the tags, and it gives me or my team a fair enough deal or fair enough idea to know what is the exact price of any product which I have to buy. But this is not the case in the healthcare sector. To know what is the price tag of this doctor to this surgery, or to do a same surgery from other hospital, there is no published guidelines. So if something on this aspect can be worked around, or if it can be enforced by the ministry, then yes, it will help in bringing more affordability, because now the person will know this is my sum insured and this is the price tag which I will have to pay. Then let me try to go to a lower set of to a different set of hospital rather than going to this hospital. So, and the standard protocol. As of now, yes, the government or the state government has floated some standard treatment protocol, but it is at the discretion of the hospitals whether they can follow it or not. So, madam, it's my request. We have gone through the treatment protocol. I think you had put up a mail to Bajaj Allianz CEO also, and we went through it, and it's wonderful. But the only part is, what will insurance company do to enforce the hospitals to follow that? Or but it's all distributed.
19,000 crore तरी वापरायला पाहिजे.
That is
You are
very
not
true.
using.
But yeah, that is other. So it becomes if the center or the state government enforces the hospital that see if you have to practice, please follow the standard protocols. Then it becomes easy, and then it is the right way. So we would expect that type of support to make it a success. So I hope that Madam comes up with some type of guidelines soon for us and the hospitals.
Throughout for the state, they should adopt it.
Exactly.
All hospitals
भाई,
are
हम लोगों ने अपने लिए तो किया है, आप लोग करिए ना adopt. My open invitation to everyone.
We are very happy, but since the hospital is not regulated, so there is no binding on the hospital side to follow that.
We are trying to build up consensus on that. Very important point. And we let us see something about a CA Act is in the offing. How long it will take, I cannot say. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the other challenge which we are facing from our overall industry point of view is the fraud aspect, and all over the world people are losing money. From India also, yes, there is about 20% of the cases or the payout that is taking place is pertaining to the claims which were not meant to be claimed. What it results into, because it looks like a very small topic, okay, fraud has happened, but see, these people get out from doing or getting caught properly because there is no documentary guidelines where we can highlight that this person did fraud, because KYC still now is not mandatory in the insurance sector. So since we don't have any proper identification mechanism, it becomes difficult for us. There are few initiatives that have been taken by the GI Council where the data sharing is taking place, but it has to go a long way ahead. The flip side of this is that it results into losses for the insurers, it results into premium hikes, it results into putting caps on the various policy level conditions, due to which insurance is not taken in a positive way by the customer. From Bajaj Allianz, we are very strict and we are very strict on dealing with those aspects, and we are doing lot many FIRs, and we are putting lot many show cause notices to the doctors and the hospitals whom we have caught doing fraud and all, and we were successful in getting license, the practicing license getting cancelled from the MCI for 2 doctors, that too in Maharashtra. So this is the way how we are dealing, and the fact is that we want to cut down on this type of leakage that is taking place. And yes, wellness and preventive things should be highlighted or should be taken up in a very positive way, not only by the insurance company but by the people also who want to avail those benefits and all, because just like sir said that 1 rupee can save the treatment, can save the cost by 5,000 rupees, but there's a published there's a published literature by Harvard University which says that every dollar invested into a wellness program results into a $3 saving in the subsequent outcome. How to identify? Yes, there are wellness firms and the companies who specializes on this, and they know how to manage that. So once the costing and all that gets covered, yes, the affordability can be made possible. We are also striving at the unexplored market, that is the rural market and all, and hence since the government is also exploring those options, the tying up with a good government organization, with a good organization is really actually is the key that is needed. For the government, what I would say is that if they have tie up with those type of companies who have their own in-house claims management capabilities, it will be much better, because ownership becomes much more for the both of the organizations. So the main way how insurance company thinks about how things should be taken is lower the pricing, but without creating awareness, lowering the pricing will not have any impact from an overall perspective. Tax benefit, if we say buy insurance for tax, but then how many people come under the tax purview? The businessmen and all those things, they don't come under that. So we are not targeting, or we are not able to get in the volume game by targeting this type of benefits. If we want to give OPD coverage or some add-on coverage, but again when the awareness is not there, this becomes a very specific issue. Will they be using it? We don't know. And again, wellness and VAS, very good concept, but orientation and utilization almost nil. So we really need to build on insurance awareness. We want to improve the basic facilities to help the customer, and we have to work all those in a proper legal and a regulatory framework. At the end, we have to keep the customer in mind, because if the customer is happy, if the customer is being tapped properly, affordability and all is very much possible, and that is how many of the successful concepts have been working in India. I'll just like to end with the key takeaways. What I have from this presentation is, with key focus towards a universal health coverage, I think the focus will lie that how insurance industry and hospitals really join hands together to deal with the people, because the bulk and the volume will come. They should have a proper alliance and they should have full transparency, because there is a lot of trust deficit as of now between the insurance companies and the hospital. Regulator should be introduced. The function of the regulator should not be just to see, oh, you are doing this wrong. No, it should be introduced to bring a common platform where the insurance industry people and the hospitals both can join, data sharing can take place. Also, the success and the failures of RSBY both should be taken in a positive way, so that the new scheme which gets introduced, which will be covering a lot of people, it should be done in a proper way. And then combating the fraud, that is again very important. The payer and the provider both again should join hand in sharing information to the maximum to combat this type of menace, so that again the loss ratios decreases and the affordability increases. And then try our best to switch from patient care to preventive care. Now, just like the finance minister yesterday had declared the budget, so we see people have been getting, now the what would have been the tax initially will now come down by 30,000 or 50,000 or maybe 1 lakh. But tell me frankly, did any one of us thought that, okay, with this saving, if I invest only 1%, I should do a preventive health checkup, or I should I should increase my health policy sum insured? I don't think anybody thought about it. Because health, though everybody wants to be healthy, but not through insurance. They feel that, why should I buy insurance? I will be healthy, nothing will happen. But he will not do any type of preventive health checkup scheme or anything to remain healthy. So this is the chicken and egg and a cross the 69 situation. So this is how we are dealing with it. Thank you.